Alright, welcome back to WMAC Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a special fight review. So we're going to Seoul, South Korea, to Road FC number 59. We're going to the co-main event, vacant Atomweight Championship. This was the belt that up until last year was held by Sahi Ham. We got a rematch going on. JeongEun-Eun Park coming in at 7-6-1, taking on YuRi Shim coming in at 5-3. Now, as I said, this is a rematch. These two last fought each other at Road FC 57XX in December of 2019 in the main event that time. This time they're in a title fight, and that first fight, Park won via TKO in the second round. So I was pretty excited to see, what these fighters had worked on, if anything, and there were definitely some big changes going on in this fight. So let's go ahead and get down into it. So the first round, they came out, and Park started attacking Shim's legs early with low kicks, particularly the low calf kick, which I had never seen her use before. However, she was just unable to really get inside of Shim's range, because Shim was utilizing her reach to keep Park at bay with her punches and throwing in some kicks as well. Now, at about the midpoint, there was a really nice punches to high kick combo for Shim. Just a really nice combination, just executed it almost perfectly. Now, Park got a big double leg takedown at about the 3:30 mark. Excuse me. She got her down past guard and threatened with the rear naked choke. And I'm thinking at this point, man, Shim is not good on the ground. If she is on bottom, probably end of the fight. But I got to give YuRi Shim credit. She escaped, got back to her feet, and the round ended on the feet. So really good first round for each of these ladies. Second round, interestingly, YuRi Shim came out in the southpaw position. Again, she worked to keep Park at bay with her punches and kicks. Park, to her credit, got a takedown at about a minute 50. But Shim was able to wall walk again. She was able to wall walk up the side of the cage, only to be taken down again. But she was able to get back to her feet again, and the rest of the round again was on the feet with more of the same. Shim keeping Park on the back foot, even switched stances once or twice to continue to confound her shorter opponent. So it went to the third round, which meant it automatically outlasted the first fight between the two. And so we went to the third and final round of this championship fight, and YuRi Shim came out and she switched back to orthodox for this round. Park came out, she started attacking the lead leg again with those low calf kicks, but Shim responded by putting more power on her, behind her strikes, as she again, kept Park on the back foot. And JeongEun Park, she tried to get Shim down again. She tried several takedowns attempts, but just could not do it. She was too tired, and Shim, was able to sprawl successfully. And let me tell you something, the final minute of this bout was just an absolute all-out war. I mean, particularly the last 20 seconds, but I mean overall the final minute, just an absolute all-out war. I mean, both ladies were throwing punches, kicks, knees. Neither of them wanted to give way, and you could tell neither of them wanted to take a step back. This fight, this title, it meant that much to these two ladies. And it went to the final bell. We went to the judges' decision, and 2-1 saw it for YuRi Shim, your winner, and the new Road FC Atomweight champion by split decision. So congratulations to Shim. I gotta be honest, this was a fun fight, but very interesting as well, because it did not go the way I saw it going. I honestly thought it would look a lot like the first fight, where Shim confounded Park with at range in the first round, and then in the second round of the first fight, Park blasted forward for a takedown, uh, muscled her to the ground against the cage, got the takedown, and just beat her up with ground and pound for the finish. This fight did not go that way for Park. So definitely not how I saw the fight going, which made it all that much more fun and interesting. I gotta be honest, Shim, she showed some major improvements. The stance switching, her ground defense, her ability to get back up, using her reach, and in the second round, what I thought was most interesting, when I mentioned she came out southpaw, she actually emulated Sahi Ham's style. And Park had a lot of trouble with Sahi Ham's style and had a lot of trouble with when Shim utilized it in the second round. So Shim showed a lot of improvements. And she mentioned, I guess in the post-fight interview, she had a lot of hardships in her training for this fight. Like her dad got sick, she got sick. She even had to fight, through whatever was going on with her. Something wrong, not like a contagious illness, I guess, but something wrong was going on with her body, but she trained through it. So really nice to see her make a lot of improvements in spite of the hardships. One thing I want to mention is that Park introduced the new weapon that I mentioned, the low calf kicks. Never saw her utilize those before, and she utilized them very well. Shim had to be helped from the cage after the fight because of them. I mean, she was basically half carried, half limped out of the cage and into the back because those low calf kicks by Park were that effective. And I have no doubt that after this bout, because it was very close, trilogy between these two is going to happen at some point, and we'll get into that in a minute. For things to work on, for Shim, I still think she needs to keep working on her ground game. That is her biggest weakness. Now, she showed a lot of improvement in this fight, but still she needs to keep working on it because she's going to come up against some better ground fighters in the future. I just have no doubt about that, so she needs to keep working on it. Also, for a Muay Thai stylist, she showed a big weakness to the low kicks. She's got to start checking those low kicks, particularly that low calf kick. Now, not too many fighters coming out of Korea utilize them, but if Park did, then other fighters are likely going to start using them as well. She's got to start checking those low kicks. For Park, she just could not deal with YuRi Shim's reach in this fight. Just could not deal with the reach. And she tried several times, particularly in the third round. She tried several tactics to get within the reach of Shim, but just wasn't able to. So she's got to, bring in some opponents that, can emulate that length and reach, which she trains with a lot of guys. You'd think they would have been able to, but YuRi Shim, she's just built weird for Atomweight. I mean, she is the tallest active Atomweight. So that's always going to be a hard style, probably, for Park to deal with. But she's got to really work on that. Now, for fights to make, I'm going to skip over Park and go straight to the champ, Shim, because Park is a part of this. Shim has several options. First off, JeongEun-Eun called her out and said, hey, I'll be your first title defense. I'd like to fight you. And Hong owns 2 wins over Shim. First, she beat her in the amateurs, and then she came in on a late notice fight and beat YuRi Shim and submitted her, if I remember correctly. So there's that revenge option for Shim against a fighter who stylistically is a very tough matchup for her because Hong is a beast on the ground. On the other hand, you got the trilogy with Park. Park, week later, it's like a week and a half since the fight, and Park is still complaining about the decision, thought that she did enough to win. I personally don't agree with it, having watched the fight. Excuse me. She also complained about getting poked in the eye at one point. So Park wants that trilogy fight. So Shim, smart thinking, said, listen, you two fight each other, and I will fight the winner. So that's some smart thinking from her right there. On the other hand, I'd like to see Road FC possibly either let Shim go to Japan for this fight or bring this fighter over Shim could take on the current Deep Jewels Atomweight champ, Sari Oshima. Now, Oshima, much smaller fighter than Shim. She's like 4'11" to Shim's 5'6". So big size difference here, even bigger than against Park. But Oshima is also a style that is very tough for Shim, in that she is a judoka who's very good at getting to the clinch and getting her opponent to the ground and going for fast submissions. So that would be a very interesting stylistic matchup as well. So whether Road could bring Oshima over, which they've brought over Deep Jewels fighters and even a previous Deep Jewels champ. But if they can't get Oshima to come over to Korea, then let Shim go to Japan and chase that fight. So either the winner of Yoon Ha Hong versus JeongEun-Eun Park or Sari Oshima would make an excellent next or first title defense for YuRi Shim. So congratulations to YuRi Shim. She moved to 6-3 as a pro. Park unfortunately fell to 7-1. But overall, a very good fight. It is available on YouTube. I will link it in the description and a pinned comment. Go check it out if you haven't yet. Just a very good fight. Very fun and exciting. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please like it. Share it as well. Get the word out about the channel. And while you're at it, if you haven't yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMAC Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.